welcome back to the Southern American Legion Radio Report on WVUX 1460, heard around the world on WVUX.com. We have more military topics to discuss, so let's get to it. Here's Ken.
Thanks, Jack. And yeah, we'll be looking forward to being out at New York City Fleet Week tomorrow and Wednesday, and then we'll have reports during the rest of the week. Great chance to go down and visit the Navy. Check the website for New York City Fleet Week. They'll have all the information, opportunities to visit the ships, and you may see some sailors and Marines out in Manhattan at some of the baseball games over the next week. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we were at West Point on Thursday for a special presentation of the Lieutenant Eugene Evans, Lieutenant Colonel Eli Page Howard Leadership Award. She remembers two veterans from the town of Pelham, where we both grew up. We were great athletes. They were on a national championship college football team at Morgan State. They were ROTC graduated U.S. Army officers. Sadly, they both died in service. Lieutenant Evans in Korea, 1952, and Lieutenant Colonel Eli Page Howard in Vietnam in 1969. Let's hear a little bit from the presentation.
Like what?
Colonel Eli Page Howard in Vietnam in 1969. Let's hear a little bit from the presentation.
Is it plugged in all the way?
Let's hear a little bit from the
2022. And in this we have Eugene Evans, and we have Colonel Howard pictures from the military service 49 national team. And the march on of the Corps cadets here in December of 2020, the historic day. And when the Army Navy game was played here, and we've got the flag from Veterans Day here, 2021, and your celebration out on the field, and your picture at flank. And AJ, you've had tell us a little bit about what was the highlight of your career here at flank football, West Point.
Sir, I would most definitely say probably the highlight is just being able to come out each week, spend time with my brothers, grind all season long, all year. To be able to come out on a Saturday, especially at Mikey Stadium, just to be able to come out in front of the crowd and the fans and in front of the Corps cadets, probably the best highlight ever.
Absolutely, and we're standing behind the Commander Chief Trophy, which your class won twice in 2018 and also in 2020, defeating Navy and Air Force in consecutive weeks here at Mikey Stadium. Quite an accomplishment. Do you have a memory from some of the games against the service academies?
Yes, sir, most definitely. I think probably the best memory about a service academy game, you never know how it's going to go. It's always a grit and a battle. It doesn't matter what your record is going into the game. But I would definitely say, the best memory is probably, I think, Army Navy when we played here at West Point previously. It was a battle all the way to the end, and I remember it like it was yesterday. But coming down on the last couple of plays, literally probably the best excitement ever is just all the teammates feeling the excitement, and we strive for every game each week, but no game like Army Navy. So the atmosphere around the academy on this team is unlike.
Absolutely, and I noticed you had the opportunity to go around the country to speak to high schools, prospective students to the academy. What was that experience like for you?
It's a great experience. I think, any opportunity you have a chance to represent this institution, represent the Army, going to speak to other kids about West Point, and just opportunities with diversity and inclusion, it's always a great opportunity. Just having a chance to speak to underrepresented communities and letting them know that anything is possible, whether, you have a lot growing up or you have very little. Never thought I'd be able to see the day where I graduate from a place like West Point, but here we are lessons today.
Absolutely. And tell us about your next step when you formally join the Army after commissioning on Saturday.
So I've been very blessed, sir. I got a good opportunity to come back and help out with the football program a little bit at the prep school, kind of where my roots started at. So I'll have a chance to come back and get to hopefully mentor those guys and bring them up to speed a little bit.
That's great. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you here this fall. A.J. Howard, congratulations. Now today, in 2 days, will be a second lieutenant in the great U.S. Army. Good to see you. Congratulations. Okay, and Jabari Laws, great to see you. We got our plaque here, as we mentioned, honoring Eugene Evans and Colonel Howard and the 49 National Championship team they played on, and the March On of Cadets at West Point here in 2020, a historic moment. That game was played here, and you guys won. And the Veterans Day, the flag presentation here, and we do have you in the bottom of that photo celebrating the win over the Armed Forces Bowl over Missouri, and a picture of you in action. So, congratulations. And Jabari, you made a terrific comeback. You were having a great sophomore season, and a couple injuries happened, and it took almost a year for you to get back. What did it take for you to get back and play football and have that good senior season?
It's just all the love and support from the coach's family and coaching staff. I wouldn't be here today without them. They mean the world to me, and when I was down, they showed me everything, all the love that I needed to get back up. To this day, I'm super grateful for having me in my life.
Absolutely. Now, we were here last August when for one of the scrimmages, and you got out on the field with your teammates in a game-like situation, and you made the plays, and everyone was so happy for you just to see you out on the field able to compete. What was that moment like?
It was surreal, sir. I remember it vividly like it was yesterday. I was able to go out there in 1 minute, and they showed me love and support throughout that whole process, and I really just congratulate them. They was picking me up on the sideline, like as if we were in a regular game. So I thought we won the championship the way we were celebrating, but again, the brotherhood means so much to me, and without these guys, I think you guys can make that to me.
Absolutely. Now, you had a big game against Wake Forest. This is checking, I think you were 9 out of 11 passing, a couple of touchdowns. What was it like to compete in that manner against a very good team like Wake Forest?
It was great today. I was just glad the coaches trusted me, put me in, and just having that opportunity is really fun. We know it was a parent weekend, so it was a sold-out crowd.
Oh, yeah.
And the guys made the plays and pulled up the mob was blocking, and everybody was doing great. So it was really fun.
And then there was the moment that will be remembered, I think, for 50 years of Army football history. A minute 11 seconds, you're down in Missouri. Was it 1 point or 2 points? And you were getting the ball on the 25-yard line. You were sent out to lead the team. And just tell us about what happened in those 4 or 5 plays that you helped set up the field goal.
So I just remember getting the call on the sideline, telling me I got to step up, and I knew I was going to be prepared. Every Tuesday practice, I went to Thursday practice as well. We do a 2-minute drill in practice. So I've seen scenarios like this countless times. So I felt prepared, and when I was called, I just had the opportunity. Everybody had faith in me, and so I thank God that I can make the things.
Well,
Okay, and that was Army quarterback Jabari Laws, now second lieutenant in the U.S. Army, commissioned on Saturday. We heard from A.J. Howard, a slot back, who really impressed me with the events. We went to the dedication of the Buffalo Soldier Monument, which honors the African-American soldiers who trained cadets in horsemanship in the late 19th century, and also going into through about World War I period, when learning to ride a horse was mandatory at West Point. And very proud to present the award in memory of Eugene Evans and Eli Page Howard from Pelham to those players. Now, on Saturday, we were at the graduation for them and for 1,012 of their colleagues, and we had a chance to hear and actually say hello to General Mark Milley, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Let's hear a little bit of his remarks.
In the summer of 1914,
How's my bed?
a pistol shot in Sarajevo cast the world in the cataclysm of deadly global conflict, unleashing destruction on a scale yet unseen by humanity, and setting the conditions for the Second World War only 20 years later, the bloodiest war in all of human history. In fact, between 1914 and 1945, 3 short decades. First and Second Wars laid waste to countries everywhere. 150 million people were killed in World War I and World War II. The most violent 3 decades ever recorded, all in the conduct of Great Power War. To give us a sense of what Great Power War means, consider for a moment that 26,000 soldiers and Marines were killed in only 6 weeks, from October to November 1918 in the Battle of Bizargad in World War I. Consider also that 26,000 U.S. troops were killed in the 8 weeks, the summer 1944, from the beaches of Normandy to the liberation of Paris.
And that was General Mark Milley, Chairman of Joint Chiefs. That comment resonated with me from research we've done of local communities during World War II and what it must have been like in 1944 when news of those casualties reached communities here in Westchester, in Pelham, Shell, all around. It was a very, very difficult, challenging time.
Indeed. You've been listening to the Sons of the American Legion Radio Report on WVUX AM 1416 and around the world on WVUX.com. We thank today's guests from the West Point football team, quarterback Jabari Laws and slotback A.J. Howard, and General Mark Milley, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Remember to check out our Facebook pages, Sons of the American Legion Radio, West Point Football Report, our Sea Services page, and our Basketball Report page. And until next week, remember to thank a veteran.